so we got our normal bimetal blade right here. We've only made one cut with this so far. We'll just go ahead and pit this up against the carbide cutter here. Let's take a look at this piece of wood. This is a pressure treated outdoor grade lumber, and there's going to be this great big huge knot right here, and that's right there. I want that there for a reason. So we're going to go ahead and take this, punch a hole. So you begin to see how those teeth clog up. So now what we're going to do to be able to make this go as efficiently as possible is backwards and then forward. And then they're going to be clogged up again. You can see they're all clogged. And we're going to go backwards. This is what drilling this pressure-treated lumber does, because it's treated with like an insecticide and that kind of stuff to keep the bugs and rot out of it. Okay, so now we got that out, and we'll go ahead and do the fun screwdriver thing. Pull that plug out. So that's your average bimetal blade in the wood. What we're going to do now is we're going to try the carbide tipped arbor from Spyder. And I'm actually going to drill this right into that knot right there. So that would be a, well, we'll do one above it, and then we'll do one into the knot too. Okay, so you can see how much faster that was. Then we push the Spyder button, plug comes right out, drill bit goes right back into place. Now we're going to do one right smack dab in the middle of that big giant ugly knot. And still, just like that, I can feel the moisture and the wetness coming off of that. So you can see how much faster that's going to put your production for the day when you're doing this kind of stuff. You know, I just drilled 3 holes in the time it took that other one to drill 1. The other really cool thing about this too is that if we drilled the wrong size hole, we can pop that off. We can pop off or pop on a larger sized hole saw here. And then we can go ahead and thread on our smaller size and use it just like a guide. So we're going to start it, and we're going to have to grab onto this pretty good because it's got a lot of torque against it. And voila, now we've got a larger hole. This is the only system that incorporates all these different functions, and then also, I mean, it still comes off just like so. And then this can come off. And if you really want to, it's the only carbide arbor system that I've seen that will allow you to adapt the current bimetal blades that you already have right onto it, just like so, and go ahead and continue to use those. As slow as they are. There you have it. That's the adaptable carbide arbor system from Spyder. This is the stuff that's replacing pretty much everything I'm buying. I'm not buying bimetal blades hardly anymore. This is what I'm sticking with. The carbide lasts a long time. They drill way faster, and if you drill from both sides, then they won't split the wood out like they kind of did on here, but that was just for demonstration purposes. Hardwood, softwood, pine, wet wood, treated wood, outdoor wood, landscaping timbers. If you need to put some holes in some wood and you need to do it in a quick way, this is the fastest thing that I've seen to do so. So for more information, check out spyder.com or spydertools.com, the website below right here, and check them out. Thanks. Okay, so now we got our Spyder carbide tipped saw, hole saw, or carbide arbor here, and we'll try it in this. This is a hard floor natural stone. So this is a natural stone, but it's like it's specifically designed to be floor tile. You can see how it's finished on the back side here. So let's just see how it does. Okay, so there's that, and we push the button, and the interior piece comes right off. Very nice, very clean cut. I'm looking at the carbide here, and I'm not seeing any chipping or damage on it. That goes right back into place. You probably definitely want to use some kind of lubricant or water if you're going to be doing more than one hole or just a couple. Or you could start to go through blades pretty well, but definitely it'll do it, and it'll continue to do it. The carbide definitely will hold up to the task. And this is some fairly hard stuff. I don't know exactly what kind of stone it is, but I do know that it's specifically designed for floor tiling. This is the Spyder hole saw, and this is the one that I've actually had on the truck and been using. And so this one's been in the field for a little while. This is the brand right here if you're looking for it in the store. And this one to me seemed to have the most advantages over the other bimetal hole saw brands and the other carbide arbor brands. And here's why. The quick release system here is a whole lot easier to use. You just push this button to eject the core or push it through like so. Whereas the other one, it's kind of funky. You got to take it apart, and it doesn't go back together very well. Here's the number one reason why I like this system more than anything else, because when we lift and pull this, unlike the Bosch system, I can use my regular carbide, or I mean my regular hole saws on this arbor, or on this platform here. So again, and then it's gonna, you can line that up. So it's going to grab, those holes are going to grab. This is basically what's locking that in place so it doesn't thread on too tight. So now, this system allows me to use the hole saws that I already have, so I'm not throwing money away, and it allows me to incorporate the new carbide tipped arbor. So it's really the best of both worlds, and not to mention, I still have that really cool plug release system. So many different advantages. Also, this one here comes with, it gives you the option to buy this twist bit right here that's good for wood and metal. It drills much faster than the masonry bit. They do offer a masonry bit as an option, but the other brands out there only offer the carbide option for the masonry bit, which is very blunt and slow to drill on metal. Very difficult to use with metal, and it's much slower on wood too. So you know, your Bosch one here is going to come with that only. I did not see the option to buy a regular twist bit, a high-speed steel twist bit like this. So the overlay of all the different options here is what really makes this appealing. Also, it has one more trick up its sleeve, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But this system, I've used it lately, and it's so much faster. It's cutting my production time in half, really, as compared to a bimetal blade. All right. Make sure that's on. Make sure everything's connected, and we're going to go ahead and right through. And the core ejected itself pretty much. We didn't even have to grab it. I don't know if it's going to let me do that again or not. But here's what the other fascinating part of this is let's say that this hole is too small. Okay? It's too small, and I messed up and I got the wrong size. All right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to attach this larger, and I'm just using this for an example, but I'll be able to attach this larger one here. So, I will then also be able to use the bit that I just used on here as well. And I'll be able to use that as my guide hole. Okay, so that's going to take a little bit of strength to do here. Oops. Now I can enlarge my hole. Normally, with any of these other systems, you would not be able to do that. And then we should be able to just release this as well. See if that's going to come out that easy. Okay, so the plug's not going to work that well. The plug release is not going to work that well on this one. But it's not that difficult to release anyways. And now, if I accidentally messed up, I can have the proper size that I need. That is something that the other systems do not offer. The Bosch system, right here, that one would go in there, but there's no way to attach it down. You see? There's no way to stack these, so to speak. So that is the little hidden surprise that this has in store for it. It's a very, very unique system, and I have found it definitely 100% very, very useful. It incorporates all of the things that I need, and it cuts my production time down. So that's why I'm saying right now, I feel that they have the best system between the mechanics that connect it to the drill, the arbor, and the amount of options that we have with this particular setup. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it. That's the long and short of pretty much every hole saw encounter that you're going to have out there. Your bimetal blades, like this here, they're going to cut just about most materials. They're going to cut wood, but they're going to cut it slowly. You're going to have to back out because of the close spacing of the teeth. But it will cut your just about anything in the wood department, hardwoods, softwoods, things like that. Things with more glue or composite type of woods are going to bog these down more, simply because that glue will heat up and begin to gum up the teeth a whole lot faster than you know, like the annular cutter or the carbide arbors like these right here. So they'll cut wood, they'll cut metal, they'll cut plastic. They don't do very well in concrete. They don't do very well on fiberboard. They don't do it very well on anything that's a tile or concrete or abrasive. You will burn them up quickly, and you'll have one of these with no teeth. They also don't do stainless steel. Here's the resultant product of stainless steel right there. We can see teeth versus teeth, what happens. So going and continuing on down the line, let's see here. We had our carbide grit, which seemed to do okay. It's not going to cut steel very well. The steel is going to gum up. Even stainless steel is going to gum up in here and cause you some pretty serious problems with this stuff. So no go on steel or stainless steel. Tile, block. The tile, it cut it, but it cut it much more aggressively and rough than the diamond. So it tended to break the tile more and make a rougher cut instead of a cleaner cut. So that's where that's going to be. So your carbide grit, no metal, but as far as cinder block, concrete, brick, tile, and stone, definite yes on that. Right here, our annular cutter with multiple pieces of carbide. This definitely cuts steel extremely well. The way that the points are designed on this thing, it's just really great for cutting that stuff. And the carbide, because the multiple pieces, is going to last quite a long time unless it's dropped. If you drop this onto concrete or steel or something hard, that impact, you're gonna chip teeth, and that's what's gonna happen to that. You know, you're really not going to need to buy this if you're cutting wood. It would be kind of a waste of time. It'll cut wood, it'll cut plastic, it will cut some cinder block type materials and some stone, but it's not going to be that well suited for tile. You're going to start to blur those lines and run into something that you're not going to be able to cut with this when you start getting into your very hard ceramic tiles. But as far as steel goes, the king of steel is right here. It just chews right through that stuff. Hardened steel, spring steel, stainless steel. This is the go-to bit. So you're gonna want to pick up one of these annular cutters if you're cutting steel. What else do we have? The diamond, and diamond. It's gonna gum up in steel and stainless steel. It's just not going to hold up to those applications, but it's going to go through your ceramic tile and concrete materials very, very nicely. This is going to make the cleanest, smoothest cut for tile. The main advantages, you got your two different options here. I prefer the one with the centering arbor, because then you don't have to have that super high speed and try and make that cut with one side and then center the piece over it. This right here, it actually cleaned the material out better. It would allow me to cut thicker material, and it has the centering device. And pretty much when you get done, since that is spring loaded, like so, you just give it a couple taps and your piece flies out. This is a very, very good setup from Rigid right here. So that's what your diamond's going to do. Stick to stone and ceramic with diamond. And then pretty much the ultimate job site hole saw right here, and my favorite is the Carbide Arbor. We've got the one from Bosch and we've got the one from Spyder, and these things just cut just about everything. You're going to find their limitations with steel and metal, but they are going to give the addition of stone and masonry. So if you've got fiberboard, hardybacker board, concrete board, tile, those kinds of things where you're going to need to run plumbing or piping, this is going to be the favorite tool for you. Again, with working with wood, with just cutting some big rough holes through wood, man, these things are super, super fast. They're just awesome at it. They do an extremely good job. They throw the chips out faster, and they have the plug throwing device that just makes them far superior to the standardized hole saw. And then again, when we come back to these two brands here, which one was better? This one, the Spyder system, I think, is hands down the winner. Number one, it allows us to use a masonry bit, and if I can find it, HSS, or a high-speed steel sharpened bit. So this is going to run through your wood and plastic and things like that really, really fast, and it gives you the option to run the masonry bit. The Bosch, I did not see the option to run a high-speed steel bit, so that's a limiting factor. The fact that this one has the far superior plug ejecting device, I found this much easier to use because I'm only just pushing this button, pushing this out, and bringing it back like so, and moving on to the next hole, whereas the Bosch was pretty funky to do. You have to do this, and then this would come out, and then, you know, trying to get everything going, lined up back and plugged in to the next hole. I did find more difficult to use this system than this system here. And the overall winner is being able to adapt your smaller hole into that one there. You know, that just makes a huge amount of difference. If you drilled the wrong size hole and you need to go the next size up, that is a lifesaver, because there's not much option with these other tools to do that. And then my absolute 100% favorite piece of this entire mix was, I'm not 100% committed to only using this system where I would be with the Bosch. I could throw my hole saw bits on here, and they're going to adapt to this system. They're going to click right in. It's not going to over tighten. Those holes are going to drop right down in there, and I'm going to be able to use the hole saws that I already have, and I've invested in. So many options with this Spyder system. It's a great idea. I hope they stay in business and stay in the stores and continue to provide this product, because I really like the way it works out. The last thing you want to do is be invested in a system like this, and I know Bosch isn't going anywhere, but they, you know, if they decide to get rid of this product line, you got a bunch of stuff that you can't use for anything else. Whereas this, you can use it for a multitude of other things. And then if you want to swap your bits out and swap over to a wood steel plastic bit, boom, there you go, and you're ready to go, and you're ready to throw the next one on, or the next one here or here. Excellent system. The one that's staying in my bag is going to be the Spyder system. That's what I'm going to be using for my installations and things like that. I'm always going to keep some hole saws as a backup plan. Thicker steel, these do pretty good. That was the one thing that I found that these carbide cutters did not do well with. They do not, because of the few pieces of carbide, they don't deal with thick steel very well. Now let's talk about that. If we could take these carbide cutters and inlay this bit here with a grit like they've done on this here, and have that a solid grit format around here, to where even if you did chip or bust one of these pieces here, you would still have some form of a backup. Or even just adding more pieces of carbide. If you added 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I think that would add up to more steel cutting capabilities, because our close together carbide cutter here, same idea, little pieces of carbide around this mild steel housing. This was the king of steel. This is not, because it's spread out too far. It's too much impact and rotation, and it's too harsh of an environment for it to come around and do any good and cut that next piece of steel. It's trying to cut too aggressively. So if there was some way to add more pieces of carbide, or to even add a carbide or a diamond grit into this void area here on either of these systems, you would have the next generation product. So that's the review. That's pretty much across the board what you're going to see. I hope that helps. I hope that clears some things up. Please definitely subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm filthy, I'm dirty. I spent a whole ton of time doing this to provide some information to you guys, and that's the main story behind it. Also, awesome thanks to my Milwaukee drill. All of this drilling was done with 2 batteries and this drill right here. So every time you saw that cordless drill being used, 2 batteries on it. So awesome job to that. That's why I've chosen that brand. And that's how I make my decisions with all the stuff that I choose. So for more information, check out the website below. Check out these brands, and their information will be listed below too. And thanks for watching, and continue to check out the Ultimate Guide, or I mean the Guide to Drill Bits, Guide to Sawzall Blades, Guide to Hole Saws, all that stuff. Check out some of my other videos. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, it's the end of the video. You know, help me out and help me help you out. Right below the description box right here is a red subscribe button. Subscribe to me, and then you're going to get the latest and greatest information that I put out. Sometimes it applies to you, sometimes it doesn't. You know, it's just going to at least let you know that we're putting out new and current information. And then right over here is a thumbs up button. Give me a thumbs up. Help this video rank higher in the searches for the search terms that you're using, and let other people be able to see this. You know, that's the best way you can help. Interact. Leave a comment. I will get back with you if I can and try and help you answer your questions. But the more you interact and post this to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and spread this through the social media, the more that allows me to be able to help do more videos. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And subscribe, share, and like. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.